Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Cassandra would like to introduce you to Prakali Agadagba, who prefers to be known as David Bryant. David Bryant is that rare thing in Scamland, a scammer with a brain and who speaks excellent English. "Hello, Cass," he said. "Who are you?" replied Cassandra. "My name isn't Cass." "I'm sorry if the short form of your name doesn't sit well with you," he said. "I mean no disrespect." "Okay," replied Cassandra. "How are you doing?" he asked. "I'm very well, thanks," she said, "but I still don't know who you are." "I could start by introducing myself to you. I'm chatting with you from the USA, California. My name is David Bryant." "Okay," she replied. "I saw you on my suggested friends list. I liked your profile, so I decided to send you a friend request." "That's very kind of you," replied Cassandra. "I live near Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk in England." "Smiles. Thank you," he said. "Woo! England! It's a celebration day for the whole nation there in your country." It was when the women's football team had just won. "I guess that's why you're probably up by now," he said. "Those that are interested in football," replied Cassandra, "which I'm not. I'm in bed reading." "LOL," he said. "But why you're not interested? It's a very beautiful game, full of emotions and passion." "If you say so," replied Cassandra. "It's just a load of people kicking a ball around. I need to go to sleep now. Good night." "LOL," he said. "I love it for the drama it brings, and not knowing what will happen next. Good night." "Hello there," he said the next afternoon. "Good morning, and happy new month to you." "Good afternoon," replied Cassandra. "I have to go into town to see my accountant in a few minutes." "Okay, stay safe out there." "Hello, I hope you had a wonderful day." "Good evening," replied Cassandra. "How you doing?" "Tired," she said. "I had a busy day. How about you?" "I'm good. Had a really busy day at the office." "What do you do?" she asked. "I worked as an engineering superintendent for both construction and petroleum companies. Worked over 30 years. I'm also an entrepreneur. I deal on gemstones, diamonds, aquamarine and emeralds. Been in this field over 12 years, me. What about you?" "I run the family estate," she said. "We have 200 acres, a small herd of belted Galloway cattle, a small flock of Soay sheep, 3 Shetland ponies, 4 fell ponies, 30 chickens, 4 dogs and 2 cats. I assume you no longer work as an engineering superintendent." "Yeah, because I'm currently processing my retirement plan," he said. "Processing?" asked Cassandra. "Live alone?" he asked. "Yes." "What do you mean by processing your retirement plan?" "I worked as an engineer for a long time, and I picked up interest in gemstones. I began my retirement process before the pandemic, and the process came to a halt because of COVID. Now I'm finalising the process at the moment, even though I'm still an entrepreneur." "Okay," replied Cassandra. "I have no idea what a retirement process is." "Oh, okay," he said. "I just need to get some papers signed and submitted. That's all." "Okay," replied Cassandra. "Live alone?" he asked again. "I have a housekeeper who lives on the top floor." "Oh, okay. You own the house, or it's a rented apartment?" And if the person that you're talking to online starts asking you if you live alone, or you own your own house, or live in a rented apartment, there's a fairly high chance you're talking to a scammer. They want to know if you live alone, because they want to know if there's anyone else in your house that can warn you that you're talking to a scammer. And they want to know if you own your own house, or whether you rent an apartment, because they're trying to work out how much money they can steal from you. "I've already told you," replied Cassandra. "I run the family estate. It's been in the family for about 150 years. "Wow! You knew it had to come sooner or later, didn't you, guys? That's a long time. It's good to hear that. Some family won't keep it that long. Here in the United States, some families would have it shared amongst themselves, and in the end, nothing would be left. I've seen a lot like that, and it's terrible. As a family, they're supposed to be united and do things in unity, but most of them don't see it that way. Have kids?" "No, I don't have children," replied Cassandra. "I assume that you do." "No, I don't," he said. "My late wife had several miscarriages, and it got to her, so we decided to stop trying before she passed on. I've been single about 7 years now. I had a few dates in the past, but nothing came out of them, so I decided to develop myself." "What's your marital status?" "I've never been married," replied Cassandra. "Really? Why's that? Any particular reason? Or you just don't feel the need to be with a man?" "No," replied Cassandra. Just didn't happen. I looked after Daddy for many years. Oh, okay. Was your dad ill at the time? He had severe arthritis for many years, replied Cassandra. Oh my, sorry about that, he said. It must have been difficult for you at that point. What about your mum? Didn't she help out? My mother died many years ago, replied Cassandra. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I can relate, he said. I know and understand what it means when a loved one is no more. How many siblings? I don't have siblings, replied Cassandra. I must confess, he said, that you're a superwoman. It isn't easy being alone for that long. I feel so lonely sometimes, especially at nights, when you're supposed to have someone by your side. How have you been able to cope with being alone? Do you have something that keeps you busy? Do you sometimes feel the need to be with a partner? No, I don't, replied Cassandra. I'm perfectly happy with my life just the way it is, thank you. Nice! I admire that, he said. I don't think most women are half as strong as you are. What do you do in your leisure time apart from reading? I figured from what you said earlier that might be one of the things you do. I don't have much free time, replied Cassandra. I take the dogs for a walk. Yes, I read. What do you do? Dogs, he said. Beautiful and loyal Buddy. Used to have a golden retriever, but he died many years ago. His name was Enzo. I love the outdoors. Go to the beach. Attend musical concerts. Movies. Hiking, but it's been a while. Play indoor games sometimes. I also check out for business seminars. What kind of concerts do you attend? She asked. Musical concerts, he said. Live bands. I also do karaoke nights, even though I don't sing much times. Not good at that. What kind of bands? She asked. What genre of music do you enjoy? He asked. What kind of bands do you listen to? Replied Cassandra, trying to make sure that he answered her before she told him. Opera, final word, classical, and sometimes choral or chamber. I've never heard of final word, replied Cassandra. What's that? That's the classical music, he said. I don't understand, replied Cassandra. Is it a style of classical music? I've never heard of it. If you've been watching the screen, you might have spotted from previous messages earlier on that he's probably using speech-to-text software because of the punctuation. I don't know what he was trying to say with final word, and I still haven't worked it out. If somebody can tell me, please do leave it in the comments below. Not a style, he said, but classical concerts itself. I've still not heard of it, she said. What does it mean? Why are they called that? I guess, he replied, it's because of the in-depth of instruments and vocals representation. Cassandra gave up. Well, I did. If you say so, she said. I love choral music too. What's your favourite choral work? Well, he said, choral isn't a favourite, but I do them sometimes, just to have a feel. I think my favourite choral pieces are Brahms' German Requiem, Waldman's Belshazzar's Feast, and Dvorak's Stabat Mater, replied Cassandra. Who's your favourite composer? Mine is Handel's Messiah, Mozart's Requiem, and Coleridge Taylor. Now that was a very interesting thing for him to say. Firstly, as you'll probably realise as we go through the rest of the chat, I've always been a fan of the one piece by him that everybody knows. It used to be very popular, I believe, earlier in the last century, and I sang it at school. And secondly, Coleridge Taylor was one of the few black composers. You just said choral isn't a favourite, replied Cassandra. I only know one work by Coleridge Taylor. It used to be very popular many years ago. I asked who your favourite composer is. Yeah, he said, but I enjoy those. Should be Coleridge Taylor. Okay, replied Cassandra. Did he write a lot of music? I only know one piece. I don't think so, he said. The Song of Hiawatha is my fave of him. That's the only piece I know, replied Cassandra. Is that the piece you know? He said. They crossed on that one. Oh, okay. I used to have it on CD, she said. I guess you don't like sporting activities, he said. I always loved the ending when I was at school. Strictly speaking, I think the piece that's usually sung is called Hiawatha's Wedding Feast. As I said, I always loved the ending when I was at school. It finishes with, and the wedding guests departed, leaving Hiawatha happy with the night, and Minnie ha-ha. I always thought that was terribly romantic. Back to the action, and Cassandra's just said, I always loved the ending when I was at school. Nice, he said. Still reading? Yes, but it's time I went to sleep. Good night. It's okay, he said. I want to prepare dinner now. I really enjoyed our conversation. Hope to have more. Do have a lovely night rest. I don't think you've told me where you live apart from California, said Cassandra the next day. Good morning, afternoon, he said. Sorry for late reply. I had an impromptu meeting this morning, and I was a bit late, so I had to hurry up so I don't miss out. How are you? Right now, I'm in Oakland, San Francisco in California. I'll be here the next couple of days. I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. How's your day been? Busy, replied Cassandra. I spent a lot of time filling in forms online for the cattle. The vet came today to do the annual TB testing. Oh, okay, he said. I'm having a busy day here also. We'll step out for lunch pretty soon. Should be dinner time over there, right? Yes, it is, replied Cassandra. What are you doing in Oakland? I came in to check some gemstones, he said, and meet up with some clients who needed some items. Been doing business with them for years now. Do you travel a lot for work? She asked. Not really, he said. Only when I have to go for auctions. I have a pending auction which was supposed to take place in January 2020, but didn't hold because of the travel restrictions. They sent a notification about that some weeks ago. That's the reason I'm having to confirm existing orders and taking new ones, because I don't think I'll go for any other auctions. I want to have time to myself and relax. COVID taught me a lot. I'm stepping out for lunch now. Really hungry. Okay, replied Cassandra. Enjoy your lunch. And she missed a chance there, didn't she? She should have asked him what he was going to have for lunch. I just got in, he said a bit later. Guess you're asleep already. Do have a lovely night rest. I'll leave a text for you to wake up to. Good morning, he said the next day. How was your night? You might be a bit surprised I'm up early. I had to set up an alarm so I can have a morning chat with you before you kickstart your day. And watch out for that. If somebody tells you they're in the US and they're actually chatting with you at times that just don't make sense, just ask yourself where they might be living. How's your day going? I've just stopped for a very quick cup of tea, replied Cassandra. I'm cleaning out the chicken house, so I'd better get back to it. Oh, okay. Please don't work too hard. Do you have workers that assist you with that? No, I don't, replied Cassandra. I had some local members of the Young Farmers Club who came to help with the cattle yesterday, but I don't have any regular help. Oh, okay. That must be somewhat stressful for you. Another giveaway, you're talking to a scammer. How was your day? It was busy, she said. I finished for the day. What have you been doing today? Rounded up with my appointments with my clients today. Gotten all orders, he said. I accomplished all that I came down for. Rounded up with lunch about an hour ago. I will leave here tomorrow, heading back to Florida. Will you fly? Asked Cassandra. Yes, I will, he said. Made a flight reservation already. Waiting to get my flight itinerary. This is going to be interesting in a minute, guys. What did you have for dinner? He had to get it in sooner or later, didn't he? Where do you want to know? Replied Cassandra. Might be something different from what I know, he said. Like, you know, we learn every day. It was a very random question, replied Cassandra. Oh, okay, he said. He was supposed to come earlier. Yeah, it was. Probably higher up his list. But I had to answer your questions first. Have you been to the USA? He asked. Back on the list. Yes, I have, replied Cassandra. Have you been to the UK? Yes, I have, he said. I've been to Scotland, Aberdeen, Glasgow and Edinburgh. Was that for work or a holiday? She asked. For work, he said, but I had some time to sightseeing. Was that when you were an engineer? Yes, it was, he said. I haven't asked how old you are, said Cassandra. LOL, he said. I'm 62 years old. January the 30th, 1960. Your birth date? We're almost the same age, replied Cassandra. 18th of March, 1960. Wow! That's nice. Have you lived in the UK all your life? Yes, in the same house, she replied. Have you lived in the US all your life? Are you serious? He said. No, I haven't. I was given birth to in the USA, but I left here at age 7 to Italy. There, I was with my grandma, maternal side. At age 10, I began travelling with my dad across Europe. He was an automobile engineer. He had to travel to these countries for work. I returned to the USA at age 28. What do you mean by your day? Replied Cassandra, because instead of dad he'd typed day. Dad, he said. Oh, sorry, I should have worked that out. My first thought that it was your granddad. It's okay, he said. What you up to? I'm mending some holes in a couple of jumpers, replied Cassandra, thinking she'd better give him a sensible answer because I think he was reading what she was saying. What are you doing? I'm heading out right now, he said. Want to pick up a few things. And then He sent her this. I'll show it to you in a minute. That my itinerary, he said. I'm leaving 10 a.m. I will pack my bags tonight, so I don't be in a hurry tomorrow. I guess you're asleep already. Have a good night rest. And here's that itinerary. Looks fairly convincing, doesn't it, at first glance? Checked out the flight numbers. It's the right route to get from Oakland back to Florida. The flight times check out. The travel times check out. I looked at this long and hard and I thought, okay, where's he got this from? Is it a clever Photoshop job? I couldn't work out what was going on until I scrolled down to the bottom, and there's this bit which says, please verify traveller names below. If you need to make a name change, please call, and there's a phone number. And look what happens when you Google that phone number. And here it is. And the first result on Google is fakeflighttickets.com. So if you click on fakeflighttickets.com, you can generate a fake flight ticket. So if we say that we want to go from Oakland to PIA, was the airport code of where he was going to, St. Petersburg. I'll leave the default date. Let's go. And I think his was Delta, so we'll select Delta. And then you have to fill in your name that you want to appear on this fake ticket and your email, and you then have to pay $5. So I think this might be the first time that I've ever got a scammer who's actually paid money in an attempt to pull off his scam. I was quite chuffed about that. Back to the action, and our man has just sent Cassandra that fake flight booking, telling her that he's leaving at 10 a.m. the following day. Good morning, said Cassandra the next day. Hope you have a good journey home. What a nuisance having to change flights so many times. Good morning, he replied. Yeah, the layovers gets tiring sometimes. How are you? I'm fine, thanks, said Cassandra. I just got home from a meeting. I hate meetings, but sometimes one just has to attend. The village fete committee wanted to know if my Shetland ponies will give pony rides next year. That's not until next July. Why they need to know now is beyond me. Good morning, sunshine, he said. How are you? Still having to cope with jet lags. Why do they want to know? Do they usually ask to know this early? If not, they shouldn't bother you with that. The committee has a new chairperson, replied Cassandra. I think she wants to show she's in charge. Oh, okay, he said. Now I know the reason. Well, all you need to do is to carry out a rough evaluation to know if you'll give a pony ride. If you can't, you don't need to bother. But if you will, all you need to do is work towards it. I don't need to make a big deal of it, replied Cassandra. I've been giving pony rides there for nearly 45 years. It doesn't change. I'm curious about that photo you have on Facebook, the one with 3 men. Which one is you? Oh, okay, he said. Then they shouldn't be worried if you're going to do it or not. At this point, they should know. Well, like you said, she'd just want to show she's in charge. I'm the one at the middle, he said, sending 2 photographs of a man. Okay, thanks, replied Cassandra. You're welcome, he said. Can you please send some of yours to me? I think I have one somewhere, replied Cassandra. Let me look in my pictures folder. Oh, okay, he said. Cassandra's in the happy position of having 2 profile photos, so she sent him the second one. Chapman, my housekeeper, took that one. She made me put on makeup. Can you imagine how absurd? Good morning, beautiful, he said. She did a good job with the photo. Hi, good afternoon. That's very kind of you. I totally hate photos of myself. Have done since I was a child. I used to hide if Daddy got out his camera. LOL. I guess you were a shy little girl then. Nothing more. I've been cleaning the house. Did some yard work as well as laundry. How was your day? Busy as usual, replied Cassandra. I painted some fencing this morning. Then I met an old friend in town this afternoon and we went to a lovely little cafe for tea and cake. That's nice, he said. I guess the tea and cake help you relax after your paint job, LOL. Done with dinner? It's almost time for me to go to bed, she replied. I'm just catching up on messages and emails. Oh, okay. I'm stepping out to get groceries. My shelves are half empty already. Need to stock up. I also need to get a long rest, 'cause I've worked pretty hard today. Please leave a text before you go to bed. Might be something sweet, if you like. Okay? Cassandra didn't like okay, so she replied, okay, what were you doing at work today? I didn't work today, he said. I was home doing all the work. From inside out. Started with cleaning, laundry, and then yard work. Oh, I see. You mean you were doing housework? Yes, I was. In my car, in my driveway now, heading out. Okay, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. I'm off to bed. Good night. Okay then, have a lovely night rest. I will leave text for you to wake up to in the morning. How about that? I know you're asleep, and I trust you're having a good night rest. I will talk to you in the morning. I'm off to bed. Good night, Mr. Scammer. Good morning, replied Cassandra halfway through the next morning. I've just got back from walking the dogs, and I noticed the stile to one of our footpaths has been knocked over. I'll have to go and fix it this afternoon. Good morning, he said, that afternoon. Glad you noticed it in time. Hope you ain't working too hard today. Fortunately, it wasn't damaged, she replied, so I was able to stand it back up again and use some strong wire to attach it back to its posts. I may not be around much for the next 3 days. I have an old school friend coming to stay. I haven't seen her since before COVID, so we'll probably be out and about. Good morning, sunshine, he said. I'm going to miss you while you're catching up with your friend. Where is she coming from? She lives in Durham, replied Cassandra. We were at university together many years ago. I expect she'll arrive this evening. I think she's going home on Thursday morning. This is a wake-up text, he said, from me to you, to let you know that I think about you first thing in the morning when I wake up. Good morning, beautiful. I believe your friend arrived in the evening, as expected, and you both are catching up real good. You can leave a message for me when you're free. I'll respond as soon as I get it. We're just heading out for the afternoon, replied Cassandra a bit later. Okay, I'm stepping out for lunch now. I'm having Mexican dish today. Fajitas is the name. Good morning, sunshine, he said the next day. How are you? Good morning, replied Cassandra a day later. My friend's upstairs packing. She's going to leave after lunch. I have a lot of laundry to do and it's hot again, so perfect drying weather. Good morning, she said again the next day. It's going to be really hot today, so I've been outside since 6 a.m. I've just come inside for some breakfast. Nice, he said. How was your time with your friend? I hope you both had fun catching up with everything. I really missed talking to you, but I understand that you had to spend time with an old friend. How was your day today? We had a lovely time, replied Cassandra. I hadn't seen her since before lockdown. It's been very hot today. I've just come back from taking the dogs for a walk now that it's cooled down. I spent the afternoon mending some curtains. What have you been doing? Been working all day, he said. Today is pretty busy for a Friday. I'm glad you had fun. It's good to have old friends around, because you're going to have a lot to talk about. Were you selling the stones you bought in Oakland? Asked Cassandra. No, I didn't go to Oakland to get stones. I actually went there to take orders from clients. I have an auction coming up. That's where I go to get the stones. And just to prove that he really is a scammer, and he has the same obsession as all of them. Have you had dinner? Oh, okay, replied Cassandra. Why do you want to know if I had dinner? Good morning, sunshine, he said that afternoon. How was your night? About dinner? I asked if you'd had dinner, because I care about you. If I don't, I wouldn't ask, don't you think? It sounded random, and it's afternoon here, replied Cassandra. When is the auction that you want to go to? I'm assuming that's where you hope to buy the stones that your customers ordered while you were in Oakland. Oh, okay, he said. The next auction will come up really soon, but a venue hasn't been fixed yet. They're looking for venue where social distance won't be a problem. Is that still a problem? Asked Cassandra. In the US, we don't worry about social distancing anymore, and people can choose for themselves if they want to wear masks. It's just a safety precaution, he said. The organisers are concerned about our well-being and wouldn't want to risk our lives. I'm here sitting on my bed at the middle of the night. Can't stop looking at your picture. I can't recall the last time I did this, but it's been a long time. I guess you're waking up over there. Do have a wonderful day today. Happy Sunday to you. I suppose it makes sense to keep people safe, replied Cassandra. It's nearly lunchtime. It's very hot again here, so I'll probably just make a small salad. Chapman's gone out for the day, so I'm polishing some of the cutlery from the silver drawer. I never even use it, but it looks so awful if I don't polish it occasionally. Good morning, beautiful, he said. If you're watching the screen, you'll see they were only exchanging 1 or 2 messages each day at this point. How are you today? I felt a bit weird for some part of the day yesterday. I got a doctor's appointment this morning. How's your day going? I called, but figured you ain't online. Do have a wonderful ahead. I've just come back inside for lunch, replied Cassandra. Sorry I missed your call. Perhaps we can try again later. Hope your doctor's appointment goes well. It's okay, he said. How's lunch? I'm at the doctor's already, waiting to go in. Hope you ain't working too hard. Don't you believe in hard work? Replied Cassandra. Yes, I believe in hard work, but not pushing the body past the limit. How was your day? What did the doctor say? Asked Cassandra. Didn't see anything serious, he said. He said I should get more rest, sleep, and have more vitamins. Probably jet lag from your trip, she replied. He tried calling her, but Cassandra wasn't online. Good morning, beautiful, he said. He tried calling her again, but Cassandra still wasn't online. You keep trying to call me when I'm outside, replied Cassandra. Can't you see when I'm online? I can see when you are. I've just come in for lunch. Shall I call you? And so she called him. Now, up until this point, I'd conceived the idea that this man might actually genuinely be living in the US. And so, although he has a Nigerian-sounding name on his profile, I was expecting to talk to someone with an American accent.
Hello.
Hello, it's so nice to talk to you at last.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm good. I just woke up and I got a text message. You sent me on Facebook, so I decided to put a call through.
I actually just called you.
Yeah. How's it going over there?
Oh, very
You
well.
working?
Oh, yes, I'm always working. It's not so hot here now. It's been raining a little bit, so I've been outside.
Okay.
I was just
I'm
cleaning out.
glad. Yes, I'm glad it's not so hot like yesterday.
Yes,
right?
so am I.
Did actually accomplish a lot today.
Yeah. What's the temperature like in Florida at the moment?
67 degrees.
Oh, that's not too bad at all, is
It's
it?
pretty hot.
That's
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. No,
that's
not
good.
too bad.
Probably quite cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please endeavor to take some rest, right?
Why do you think?
Intervals.
Why do you think I
So
should?
you can.
Why do you think I should take some rest? I just came in for lunch.
Okay. What are you having for lunch?
I've had my lunch.
What do you have?
I had a sandwich.
Oh, sandwich?
Yes.
Is it a club sandwich or just a veggie sandwich?
I have no idea what a club sandwich is. Why are you so interested in my lunch?
Oh, okay. No, I'm just wondering if that's going to be okay, like, to pull you through the day's job, the remaining part of the day, right? If it's club sandwiches are usually heavy, right? It can actually carry you for longer hours.
Well, I'm touched by your concern for my eating habits.
Oh, thank you. Oh, now you're making me blush.
Oh dear, I'm sure you'll get over it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, there. I'm about leaving right now in my driveway. Okay. Heading out.
Where are you going?
So leave a text for me at the end of the day, okay?
Okay, where are you going?
I'm heading to work.
To where?
Heading to the office.
Oh, you have an office, do you?
What?
You have an office. You don't work from home.
No, I don't work from home. I've got an office.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So that's where you keep track of your orders and keep your clients.
That's where when my clients want to meet up with me, they come down to the office, put a call through. I'm gonna give them the office, and you just come meet me up.
Okay. Well, I'd better let you get on then if you need to go to work.
Okay then, no problem. Please leave a text for me when you're done for the day. Okay.
Okay. It was nice to speak to you.
Then.
Okay
Same
then.
here. Have a lovely day ahead.
Thank you very much. Bye for now.
Bye.
I'm sure this is an experienced scammer. He hasn't been bombarding Cassandra with pointless messages. He's prepared to take his time and take it slowly. Fairly soon, he's going to call her again. But that's episode 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, please share it, please comment down below, and I'll see you again in episode 2.